Alright, welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 82. This is reviewing episodes 9 through 12 of Maskman. Now, the first two episodes are Takaru episodes. The first one is basically has where the five Maskmen, along with their mentor, Commander Hikari, where they're meditating, and then all of a sudden, Takaru hears a mysterious voice. A voice that belongs to a kid. Turned out to be a little boy. His name is Lolaru, and apparently he's the one who can hear him. So they track him down. They try to track down where, and of course they get information that a monster is attacking, and all of a sudden a UFO shows up. Which, by the way, when I saw this UFO, wait, did they recycle this particular UFO for Live Man? Because appearance-wise, it looks like the same exact UFO used in that particular that was reused for that show, but that appeared toward the end of that one, not like this one where it's like 9 episodes in. And surprisingly, this kid actually is not gonna kill it off at all. Unlike the alien that appeared in that episode, he died. Okay, is this one? Comes to Earth, helps out Takaru out of his little bind, and it turns out the reason why he's able to make a connection with him was because their auras are very similar. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Do they go into how it's similar? No. They just basically just hang around for a bit, and they go basically a shoreline, and of course they get called away. And just by sheer coincidence, Oboro, the guy who's red-skinned and breathes fire a lot, he's basically the ninja for Barbaron, the muscle head of, I call him the muscle head of the Grand Chaos, the underground tube, that's what they're called. So he's put like some kind of just underground, like a little bit. Like while the Maskmen are dealing with the monster, Takaru basically finds a way to contact him. So he meditates on the shoreline, not on the beach, the shoreline. He can't get contact, but he's able to find him. Of course, he'll free him, and of course, get out of the little hole he's in. The monster's eventually destroyed, and then the kid goes off home. So I'm kind of like, okay, his purposes of his visit were just to meet Takaru and see the planet itself the very peaceful planet itself being wars going on. Apparently, he had no idea. He never heard of the underground tube at the underground empire, the underground empire tube. They never heard of it before. So there's that. Now 10 is another Takaru episode. This one starts with Ignim, where basically he, aka she, I can tell just by appearance-wise, the fact it's a freaking woman. So she needs to deal with Takaru once and for all. It's only 10 episodes in, and we're having a final battle with these two, even though it doesn't really go too well. So she unleashes a secret failed technique, the Death Ring. And so I was like, I never heard of this before. Excuse me. So he challenges Takaru to a duel. Takaru accepts, and he goes by himself. Goes in his, I would think it's probably part of his, I think it's his Zord. Flies out, have a little aerial dog battle, and then they have a fight on the beach, which basically involves what looks like a giant fence line. Though I have got called goof on this episode because they have a little bit far away shot, and it looks like though that the actors who play Ingram and Takaru seems a bit further away from the fence than the actual thing, and the fence is just a small thing, but they ignore it afterwards. They fight for a pretty long while. Takaru is getting his butt handed to him by Ikram. Basically, the whole thing involves his sister. Apparently, also, his sister is the ice cube she's in is not covered in chains. Now, last time it was not covered in chains. Now it's covered in chains for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. So, then of course, they fight for a while. Apparently, Zeb probably did not trust Ingram to defeat. So he sends out a monster, basically breaking the rules of a duel. And it was him who did it, Not the Maskman. Maskman came out after the monster showed up. And after the monster was destroyed, Hikari was not happy with this boss, basically, for interfering in his personal affair. But I would say that the duel between those two was inconclusive. I got handed to the episode was a damn good fight between two characters who are basically have one thing in common. Ingram's sister. Which, if you think about it, Takaru does not, let's just say, go after her for quite a while because he's focused on his own thing. Because it was actually his commander's idea to do that. Just put that aside and just handle basically being this. You'll probably find out later. He doesn't find touch with the end of the thing, which I'll get to that later. And in the very next 2 episodes, we finally have not Takaru focused episodes this time. Oh no. Next one's focused on Kenta, the Black Mask, where he's sent to a museum which has this brand new crown that been unearthed. And it turns out, though, this crown belonged to Ikram and Princess and his sister's mother. Yes, the mother. Ariel exactly what happened to the parents and how the heck that Earth Emperor Igor is Zero actually ascended the throne. So then, of course, you have Kenta undercover as a guard, which, of course, the guard's not a problem because it's the Maskman. And all of a sudden, a black-cladded ninja shows up, turns out it's a woman. And then Fumi shows up, they're fighting. It's like, what the heck is going on here? And that's when the Maskman shows up, and I'm wondering what the heck is going on. And the crown has Zero's dirty little secret. What the heck the secret is? That's actually explained a little bit later on in the run, from when I read online. Even though I'm kind of spoiling it, but yeah, this is a plot thread that will go. It will stretch. It will be brought up time and time again, probably not for quite a while. So it turns out basically when Kenta meets up with her later, her name is Yu, and it turns out that actually the reason why he's able to ascend the throne because he killed the royal family. Yeah, he massacred the whole royal family. The reason? Not revealed now. They won't reveal exactly until the reasons, the whole secret behind it. And of course, Fumi tries to basically get the thing back, but doesn't. They end up capturing Yu's father, who is a is basically what in Naruto terms referred to as a missing con, basically a rogue ninja. Here they refer to as deserter ninja, but basically he's a rogue ninja. And when he sees Ekram, we're like, oh, Lord Ekram, it's good to see you again. Why you basically have changed? And he's not seeing it at this episode because he dies. Sacrifice himself in order to. This is just after they open up the secrets and we see the mother, battle the secrets, and the crown is destroyed by the monster. Yep. So the father's like, "How dare you!" And then he sort of blows himself up, try to take him out, and the father does die, but the girl herself does survive the episode, which that would have been quite dumb. If you kill off the father in the same episode, you kill off the daughter. That would have been very stupid. So, they end up destroying the monster, and, well, then it's informed that, well, if you need help, contact us. That never happens, because from what I've read, this is her only appearance. I'm like, really? Yeah, really. I don't know what the heck happened with this one, where they could have brought the character back before the finale, but oh no. This episode is her sole appearance. Which, in my opinion, was kind of dumb. Excuse me. For the anime, for this Maskman to do that. Yeah. It's like you bring her in for this one episode, and same thing with Father. They're both here for this one episode, and that's it. And you're thinking, really? Yes, really. Yeah, it's by far one of the most baffling things. Now, who plays Yu? A woman named Yu Atura. Let's see if we can find information about her. Because this was her solo appearance. Apparently, she also appeared in Kamen Rider Black, which are the same year. That's probably the reason why that. Actually, no. I'm not sure what the heck the reason was. Maybe she was just a stunt actor, possibly. Or she just appears like one episodes here and there. Just kind of weird. And I'm looking at the Japanese Wikipedia page at this, and I'm like, okay. And apparently, she's currently 54 years old, the actress. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Yep. And now in the case of the final episode we're talking about here, episode 12, The Pride of the Shinobi. Yeah, I figured out that Hikari was actually a ninja. Episode starts out with Fumi and Shinobi Dogger fighting each other in the middle of the damn city, injuring innocent civilians. And Hikari's like, what the heck are you doing? You fight each other fine, but don't involve the innocent civilians. And she fights him briefly, and of course she gets scolded by the commander for being very risky, but she basically uses a smoke bomb to get us away. And then she uses ninja tactics to get away with the city. Basically, she just uses a blanket to cover herself up, and then she slices right through, knocks out Fumi, and apparently copies her clothing, or at least takes her clothing, and then lures Shinobi Dog away from the city. Because the whole thing is about to get this Shinobi ball in order to apparently destroy the surface world. That apparently was the plan. Like, who came up with this concept? Don't know. Oberon is involved too. Yeah, and of course they fight each other, and eventually the monster is destroyed, but the ball is knocked out. But yeah, there's the thing about the bomb. Even though it's taken to the Underground Empire, and of course a third party, basically, what is his name here? Agnes? Yes. Yeah, so, and of course during the battle itself, before we get to actually, we see Hikaru's ninja techniques, throwing shuriken, doing shadow clones, yes, shadow clones, and a bunch of other stuff, which is really cool. And eventually you think gets the device from when they bring it below, but nope, turns out it was a fake, it was a bomb. And then the actual one was disintegrated by the sun because from the underground, because they like sunlight very much. Yep, but this was a damn good episode. Good character piece for Hikaru. And by the way, is she scolded by her boss at the end of the episode for going rogue for this one thing? Not really, no. Wouldn't be surprised if it's not brought up for the next episode. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the grunts this season are called anglers. No, seriously. The ooglers, as they're called, or anglers. Yes. That's what they're called. And their appearance is that they're basically clad in black, and usually a good number of these guys. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like sometimes they come out like little, like there's a clip they keep showing when they come out like three, like bam, bam, bam. It's like a roll thing of like 3 or 4 at a time, and they show like a whole bunch of them. Yep. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this particular review for Super Sentai. Yep, so for the next video I'm going to put up is a review for the next 4 chapters. First 4 of 9 chapters been released so far. Well, recent release chapters for Black Butler. Yep, see you next video. Bye.